morning to you all. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Randolph Matthews. Stop that, singers. You know who I am, of course. There are other people who don't know who I am. So I'm Randolph Matthews, and I am a vocalist. Beyond the remit of necessarily just saying that I'm a jazz musician, for example, I'm a vocalist. And that journey to be a vocalist has many layers, many journeys that I've had to go on. But I think it's transferable to any part of the creative industry. When you are expressing something into the world, you go on a journey with how to express that into the world. And so today is kind of a little bit like a bit more of a sort of dialogue, because I'm interested in people. I'm interested in the dynamics that bind us together as human beings, most of all as human beings. When we are in a world of lots of segregated parts of what it means to be a human here, what it means to be a human here, what this genre is, what that genre is, and it can create, it creates tension. So I'm looking for where there is the commonality of what we all go through and what we aspire to as, in our world, music. Music, creativity, but most of all, kind of the happiness of expressing something. Does that make sense? Yeah? So it's going to be more of a kind of a conversation through music. I have questions I want to ask you. I also have music I want to create on the spot. And I have invitations as well for people to be part of that process, to unwind maybe something for you today about maybe how you can approach your music again. Sometimes for some people it's the first start of doing their music, for example, or using their voice. Some people are pedigrees. They've been doing it for years, they're inside of a band, they're happy with that. But also there might be that threshold where it's just like, just, how can I go further? Or can I do just take it a little bit further? Just a little bit. Just a little bit further, which then brings this other horizon. Yeah? So that's the world. So for me, I've got to start with my voice first. So can I express something to you first? Is that okay? Yes. Yeah. Yes or no? Yeah. I'm just thinking I don't have dead zombies in the room. We're not one. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but let's see how it starts.
nix, nux, max, nick, nax, ja. Is max, nix, nux, max, nix, nax, nick, nax, du, bax, tax, dick, go, back. Is max, nix, nux, max, nix, du, bax, du, stack, get. Put to keep bet, that boom, there's a back, to boom, bet, bet, to boom, bet, bet, to boom, sit, do, 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 do. Woo! Do, 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 do. Woo! You like Baba?
No, Baba the party.
Oh, party?
No, Baba the party. Oh, Baba the party.
No, go Baba. Randolph, yes, I said I can hear you. What do you want to say? He said to me, Randolph, the greatest thing in the world is to love and be loved and be loved and be loved and be loved. Be Be heard. Be loved. Be. Oh, love. Yeah. Read. Time.
So I want to share just a very simple quote, just to start things off a little bit. In the mosaic of jazz, just take jazz as the ideology or the shape. Discovering your voice is like finding a rare, shimmering gem. And it's a sea of stones. So for me, finding that gem is something that has taken me, 30 years? It's probably about 30 years to sort of be at this sort of space where I feel absolutely comfortable expressing my voice in the way that I feel serves me best first. I think it has to serve you as an artist first, how you express that into the world. And I suppose the question is, when did you all find that gem? Does anybody remember the moment where you can go, yeah, this is, I've got something here. Does anybody remember that moment?
Well, I think there's not one point in time, but sometimes after a concert or something,
Yeah.
you have the idea, oh, tonight it went really,
But what was it? What was it though?
Nah, it was a sort of, I listened back somebody made a recording, actually some of the things that I worked on and I sort of liked in terms of sound sort of came through.
Yeah.
And a few, not guitar performance, but at certain spots, it sort of came out, this is what I want to do on the instrument.
Gotcha. Anybody else?
I remember I played the gig, and then I liked it so much, and I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Do you remember what the gig was?
It's so simple. It was a gig with my school, so I played bass for 4 days long, and then after I got there.
It's
What I
like,
want to do for the rest
this is
of my
it.
life. Yeah.
This is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Thanks.
I still sometimes remember the attraction of the sound.
Which one?
The attraction of the sound of the saxophone.
Yeah.
I was in high school, I was 14, and it was 1 month, but I couldn't sleep. I felt the attraction, I thought, man, I must do something else. And I did.
Great. So there's always going to be this kind of spark. That's how I see it. There's always a spark, something that gets you going. Now for me it was being around musicians. It was going to a house which had musicians just hanging. And it was in that opposite, it was literally hanging, yeah? Hanging around a doobie though, but they were hanging. Like properly hanging.
Hanging over.
Yeah, hanging over onto each other in a domino effect onto the floor. But in between that, everybody was kind of inspired, as you do sometimes when you're hanging in that kind of context. Yeah, man, let's play some shit. So they got up and because I saw the contrast, because the guy who actually started to play, he was a guitarist, so I didn't have singers as my first port of call, like, oh my gosh, that singer. It was the music. It was something about just the whole environment, all of it together, all of the songs together made it. It was never an isolated experience, regardless of how I looked at it. It wasn't just about me doing a solo myself. It was about the connections that I felt like I was already making with like-minded people. And this guy was a Rastafarian, yeah, so I had this contrast. Rastafarian who made Earl Grey tea for everybody. He loved making tea, that was his thing. You come in his house and go, cup of tea? It was a beautiful contrast, like, and then, we'll give you a doobie, and then he would then go and start playing his guitar, and he would play Earth, Wind and Fire. And when I first saw that, I was like, nah, this don't make sense. I'm expecting, you know, Peter Tosh or, you know, some Irish stuff. No, he went straight in, do you remember? I was like, what? And then I asked him, I said, what are you feeling from this? And he just said to me, this music is spiritual. And then it also just dawned, you know, my mind just saw it from the point of view of what I saw in front of me, as opposed to what I felt music was, and the connectivity which went beyond any genre or form. It was just people feeling something. And so there's a phrase that I use a lot for singers, but to remind myself that before there were words, there were feelings. Before there were words, there were feelings. There was always a feeling. If you disconnect the feeling, then you just have disconnected words or disconnected music. You need the feeling. Everything is driven by that premise. We came in the world based on feeling. As a baby, we came in the world and screamed because we wanted food, because we felt we were hungry, or we felt love, or we felt protection, or we felt angry. And music has always evolved because of feelings that we're trying to express about the moment, about the past, the present, and how we're looking at the future. Yeah? So sometimes what happens on the journey, is how I see it, sometimes as musicians can start forgetting the feeling. You start forgetting actually how you got into this in the first place, which are these moments where you just, something switches you on, and you just go, this is it, this is my life. And then you start to get into some of the complexities of what it means. And that's the thing that can take you slightly off kilter. Has anybody got their instrument with them?
Yes.
That they can use right now? Yes. Can you take your instrument out? If you are willing and able. Doesn't have to be everybody. Yes. Except the singers, because that's going to be disgusting. And I do not have any insurance.
You look so cute.
Sometimes it's also energy. We're talking about feelings.
Yeah.
But sometimes energy is.
So did you hear that? So Tali is saying that sometimes it is energy. There's an energy that can get lost, as well as, is that what you're saying?
The energy is opposed to feelings. It's an urge, and there's an energy that you cannot really point at a feeling, at a particular feeling, but there is a certain energy that is sustaining.
There's an impulse. Yeah. There is an impulse for it to arrive, for sure. For sure. Actually, stay where you are. Stay where you are. So anybody who, and this is for singers as well. So what I want to see is if you can, through your instrument of choice, at this moment, express to me, or express in the room, your connection to that story, for example. So, and that's for anybody. Be a singer, you might have a moment, it might be a phrase, it could be a sound, a melody, but I want you to dwell on it for a moment, and then all I want is the person to stand up where you are and bring that phrase, that story, that emotion into the room. And if you're a drummer, that could literally be with sticks, you're not excluded from this, it could be banging on the chair. It could be anything. Yeah? When you're ready. Whoever it is. I wasn't looking at you directly. You!
Are we supposed to like just stand up spontaneously?
That's the truth.
idea.
Because that's how it arrived in the first place. No numbers here.
kleine Laffer, 5 Schuss, Bibi in der Kaffer. Geh, my Bibi in der, geh, Bibi. Geh, my Bibi in der, jetzt dupst die.
Thank you. A round of applause. So this kind of leads nicely on to the next thing for me, which is about next quote. So I would say, the moment you infuse your music with your inner truth, it becomes a bridge connecting your soul to the hearts of the listeners. So, just a quick, what did you feel? Did anybody feel, what kind of emotions did you feel from the piece? From people's expression? Holy? Yes, if you can put it to one word, that'd be great. Holy.
Extremely uplifting.
Uplifting.
Unique.
Unique. Authentic.
A window to their souls.
A window to the soul.
Soulful.
Soulful.
Searching.
Searching. Yeah, I felt
Chaos.
lost.
Chaos.
And chaos.
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
Deeper space. Deeper space.
Deeper space.
Memories.
Memories.
Origins.
Origins. Origins.
In the moment.
Say it again.
Energetic.
Energetic.
In the moment.
And in the moment.
Warm.
War. War.
Unexpected.
Unexpected. Feeling. Feelings.
Freedom.
Freedom. So you are all, in that moment, you kind of all are the listeners. You're the witnesses of this kind of universe, each person's human universe that they're expressing. Well, I don't know the stories. I don't have to. I just know how it made me feel. And that I can take anywhere in the world, and I can come back to it. I could look at this person and go, look at what it was. And audiences, and this is where I come to audiences don't know what they really want until they get it. So, as the artist, the audience comes last. We don't think about the audience at all. When the time comes, it's about just making sure that that connection is made first. And as a result, John Louis in the audience, who doesn't like jazz, is going to go, after the gig, bro, I didn't really like that jazz. I don't really listen to jazz at all, really. I'm taking a Cockney accent, sorry. But whew, when you played that saxophone, I started to think about my mum.
Good or bad.
How much I haven't seen her. You inspired me to go and see my mum. Thank you so much. It could be as simple as that. To just reconnect people to something that they don't recognise that they need. And I think sometimes for singers, I'm just talking from the perspective my experience, sometimes I focus so hard on the audience because you're the front-facing person a lot of the time. Yeah, if you are the lead singer, not backing vocalist, if you're a lead singer and you're up front, you're thinking about, you're seeing all these responses coming to you. If somebody's looking at you and going, or they're looking at you and going, and then, depending on how you are as a person, you interpret that as, she don't like my music, I'm never writing again. Or it's like, I don't care about you anyway. And you carry on. Yeah? But it's an emotional journey. Yeah? That without a doubt is an emotional journey. And to find that, then again, starts to look at authenticity. How authentic can you be with the art form before it even arrives to the audience? How authentic can you deliver something which is already synergetically in the room with you? And maybe it's with another person that you're working with. And I asked Jana and Michael to come up with this. When you have something which is connected, that maybe even you don't even recognize it. It's like a couple. A couple might not recognize the kinetic energy that they have between them. But all their friends recognize it because when they both walk in, people go, oh man, you're such a lovely couple. You look so great together. They're saying more than just that. They're admiring the synergy, the authenticity of you both together. And each individual brings that into the room. But also, it's about trying to know you can bring that into the room. Sometimes we start to use other songs. And this is where I talk to sometimes singers about this, about how much you lean on that song in terms of just the way it's been sung, just the way that you've heard it, as opposed to where are you inside of this piece of work? Where are you inside of this conversation? So if I take the words, if I take the song Nature Boy, which I sung earlier on, okay? If I just break it down and just listen to the words for a moment. Yeah, what's the words to Nature Boy?
There was a boy, a certain strange enchanted boy.
He said he wanted very far,
Over the sea.
A little shy and sad.
Great. So at the moment, if you can listen through, they're singing it like the song. They're speaking it as a song. So they still all got a connection to the rhythmic value of the song. For me, I'm not hearing them yet. Now, if I asked you now, somebody has just arrived from another country, first time, and that young child has had a conversation with you that's touched your heart and has reminded you of the humanity of just the spark of life. And you then share that with Rolf. Two buddies, and you say, look bro, I've just
using the exact lyrics.
speak to him in dialogue now about that situation, using the words.
Okay. There was a boy, somewhat strange, enchanting. He traveled, people said he traveled very far, over land and sea.
A little.
Carry on.
Hello. The boy is now blessed with he learns to learn during his journey. He found out that basically there's a
So that's this man's way of expression. That's his truth. That was him kind of saying a story to a friend. And his friend was responding, and that friend's role could be responding in terms of a counter response. Yeah. Wow. Where? Wow. Da-da. That could be his melodic texture. Now, if I was to say you now to do the same thing, but now with the melody. Both of you, come here, please. So I'm a bit forceful sometimes. Come here. Come here, sit there. I've been coming to Germany too much. Ah, you, over here, please. No, I don't like that. Okay. Have a conversation. In melody. And Rolf, respond back in melody. Whatever it is, that would be.
There was a boy, so strange, enchanted boy. They said he traveled very far, very far, around the world, over land and sea. A little boy, without parents.
Just respond back to it. Actually. Or you can say melody. You can say melody.
A little lonely boy. So lonely. Yeah, really, really lonely.
Rolf is very persistent.
Lonely.
He's so lonely.
You're lonely.
He's not as lonely as me. Give a round of applause for him. And also what happens as a result of that, if you just saw the last part, human connection. Yes? There's a conversational dialogue where actually it creates something really warm and human. And sometimes, men expressing our emotion as well is such an important part of our process amongst each other as well. Just telling simple stories. Storytelling is how we continue to move through the world. It's to tell our story. But it's to tell our story. That's the key. Authenticity comes from telling your story. And it leads later towards what the balance between tradition and innovation. But for now, it's about telling your story. So can I had a session with Jana and Michael yesterday, and it was about, well, they just basically came and stopped me from having my lunch, in the most beautiful way. And this, for me, why I wanted to bring this to the table is because we were just looking at things to do with authenticity. And the layers of what authenticity is, or could be. Yeah? So, go for a piece if that feels right for you. The original. Your original piece. Now, before you start, I want you to tell me afterwards what you see. I'm going to be very specific. I want to know what you see, as well as what you hear and feel.
Start on at the stage and you sing the
to and from. The saxophone does a wrong, the bass players too adore. We are the same generation. Take the floor, we have to put in the floor. We are about to explore the space beyond notation. Musicians that need tonight, the budget is really tight. However the flames ignite, we call it groove at first sight. Da, do da, da, do da, so da, do da, ba da da da. People there, so we learn loud and free with an easy touch of rhythm. Believe they were just like at your feet. Look right up, come on sky, sending greetings to you to make you happy. Don't miss the chance to kick the ball. It is a game of give and take, and you win more than you think. Look, and you see more than you ever thought. It's even more than your teachers taught. If you just try, you succeed. It's the music that I've never heard before. And for the saxophone does a wrong, the bass players too adore. We are the same generation. Take the floor, we have to put in the floor. We are the same. Explore the space beyond notation. Musicians that need tonight, the budget is really tight. However the flames ignite, we call it groove at first sight. We got it groove at first sight. We got it groove at first sight.
Come on! Tell me.
They smile, pass the time, they look into their eyes and dance very often, and they move in a different way. When she moves, he doesn't move. When she stops moving, he moves. Her knees and your feet, your foot. She stopped with her knees and moves out with her.
Wow, you really did look this. I was scared for the rest of the day. I feel kind of naked all of a sudden.
It's a joyful harmony.
Joyful harmony.
I saw two people liking each other and kind of blending.
Yeah.
I saw shy intimacy.
Shy intimacy.
And I looked a little bit myself and I thought, I feel like I'm almost intruding by watching. It's like in those, it's like, you know those, when you have a musical and, I don't know, I remember a scene from a movie where they fall in love during this song and play the piano and she sings, and so you see they fall in love during the song. And it's a musical, so it's filmed. There's nobody supposed to be there. It's a piano shop. And that's exactly the same feeling I just had now. It's sort of, yeah, I'm glad I can watch, but I hope they don't get me watching it.
I think it was funny to see that. I think you thought you were making a turn that you weren't supposed to, but then you just thought, oh, fuck it. And you were laughing, you were making jokes
close with each other. In the end, in the beginning, it was a bit, we were searching, but at some point I could see you two locking, and then at the end you were just making fun, which is what I like most actually.
Yes.
To see people having fun on stage, to play, which is what you did indeed.
So there's really a lot. There was so much in this yesterday, and I'm going to give you another picture. Yeah, so I want you just for a moment to close your eyes. So I don't want anybody to see it for a moment. Just close your eyes. Open. Now do a little bit of the song again.
Look right up to make you happy. Don't miss a chance to kick the ball. It is a game of feeling, taking you more than you think.
Stop. What was different?
Different movie it is.
They were punished.
Maybe. This is the version where they go on stage afterwards, you know?
Yeah, that's
where you do performance on stage. So if you have a movie,